80% of what people say to you is attention-seeking bullshit. 90% of what they say to themselves is attention-seeking bullshit. What man doesn't have the power to remake his world? Change is like a dentist scraping your gum line, and it only hurts if you fear it. So, Pelops, son of Tantalus, back where all this began. When he wins his wife, Hippodamia, they settle down in Kensington Olympia. Nice little 2 up, 3 down. The bathroom's off from the kitchen, but at least there's a garden. And time goes by, and before long they've got 2 sons running about, Atreus and Thyestes. They seem like nice boys at first. Quiet with their father, careful with their mother, loud in the bath and quick to fall asleep. And they, racing about like the world is running out of kitchen floor. And maybe a little later comes another kid, Chrysippus, or Chris, if you're short on time. By now the cupboards all have foam on the edges, so he gets through the first few years with less black and blue. But the curse of Tantalus, falling on Pelops, and then doubling with a gurgling of poor scheming drowning Myrtilus thrown fresh from that cliff. So of course, that's all the papers talk about when Chrysippus, Chris, goes missing. They've got him being dragged into a white van on the Ring doorbell camera, 10 feet from the house. The nonce that did it, Laius, his name comes out quick. The public interest is high. Of course, they get Pelops in front of the phone cameras, and he does a curse of his own on this Laius. So now, we've got a quadrupled curse running through all this. And of course there's a backlash, and the lines are drawn before the kid is even found. News sites all quick to fill their pages with justifications for Laius' behaviour. Give him a hug instead of slamming your foot through his teeth. Not a minotaur in a labyrinth, but a victim tied to a rock. Social media is a wonderful thing. None of us can hide. If they can get the freak that fed the kittens to his snake, they can get a run-of-the-mill kiddie fiddler. Atreus and Thyestes find his little bedsit, but something goes wrong, and little Chris, well, he doesn't get to walk out. Why? Ask them. Jealousy, maybe. Accident, perhaps. The police went with door number 2, and no charges were brought. So, you've got 2 boys with a brother's blood on their hands. So, there's only one thing to do. Go on a talk show and do a public apology. So they make all the right noises, and after a while people forget, except the curse, of course. They remember the curse, because the curse makes what we do to each other easy. They grew up, these boys, into men who hated each other. Thyestes took Atreus' wife, whether she wanted him or not. So Atreus killed his brother's children and served them to him at a dinner. Yeah, just like Tantalus, or that bit in South Park. And so Thyestes went to the oracles, one of those fortune-teller palmists you get in West Hampstead by the station, who told him the only way to kill his brother was to have a son with his own daughter. And right enough, by the time Christmas comes round, he's got himself a new son, Aegisthus. His daughter, Pelopeia, well, she wasn't too happy about having her brother-son baby-in-law, so she left him out for the bin men. Recycling is on Tuesday. Brown bin, cardboard and paper, so nothing too sharp for a manger. But of course, bin men are notoriously kind-hearted when it comes to finding newborns in the rubbish, second only to shepherds in that regard. So they do the responsible thing and took the little fella to his uncle, who in turn raised him as his own. By this point, it was just a relief he wasn't considering making him into a baby souffle. With this family, the kids seem very much part of the cooking process. Hannibal Ramsay. So Aegisthus grew up with his new brothers, Menelaus, Mene, and me. We called him Gus. Before too long, our uncle Thyestes told our new brother what the prophecy had said about him, that he was meant to kill our father, and so he did. And destroyed our family all over again. By this point, I'd had enough. Me and Mene ended up going on a bit of a road trip. Kick up a bit of dust from the valley, wash the patricide out of our eyes, get some miles on the dash and notches on the sword. There was a music festival in Sparta. Ended up working the door, running the backstage gate. Met BTS, nice lads, all 87 of them. Ended up staying 12 seasons. I found work and a place to stay with a nice enough couple that ran a breakfast pop-up in the food stalls. Tyndareus and his wife, Leda. What can I say? The stoves ran hot and she made good eggs. Point is, adultery, infanticide, cannibalism, incest, and all the other things you get demonetized for on TikTok. They're human acts. They're human evils. Doesn't matter what god you got on your back or curse running through your blood. We make our own futures. I just want a quiet life now. I want to be boring and fat and happy. But what do I know? 80% of what people say to you is attention-seeking bullshit. Now, would you like those eggs scrambled, fried or poached? And you guys all right for French toast? Cool, no worries. I'll be right back with your order.